So the kick from Billy Cundiff comes down to the goal line to Gary Russell. And Russell, shoulder to shoulder, square up hit right at the 20-yard line. And the first play of the game is an incomplete pass to Gary Russell. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms here in Oakland. The Raiders receiving the opening kickoff after Baltimore refused to take the football, winning the toss and deferring. Tony Corrente and company will be officiating this one. The Baltimore Ravens at 8-7.
An eligible member of the offense downfield prior to the pass, number 74. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
1st and 15. Charlie Frye under center. The pass complete to the rookie Murphy out of Florida. He's been a good one and a good find for them. His 29th catch of the season. On second down, Ravens go McFadden. And he goes sideways for a couple. Houston needs 2 of 3 teams to lose. Baltimore, the Jets, and Denver have done their part now, storming back from 14 down in the 4th quarter to pull off the victory. On 3rd down, Frye flings it, and the pass caught right at the first down yardage by Chaz Schilens. He was injured earlier in the year, and once he became healthy, this team became that much better.
Looks like a pretty good spot for Chaz Schilens. Does he catch it on the 30-yard line? Oh, actually, he does get it over the 30-yard mark. Couple things. Boy, nice catch. Gets it, possession of it before it hits the ground. Pulls it back in. Chris Carr on the coverage. John Harbaugh, the Ravens. Pretty excited about the last few weeks. Doing a better job with their defensive backs when it comes to covering wide receivers.
First down for Oakland, and now it's Bush in the backfield, but a pass play, and it is complete. And that's out across the 40 to Reese. Marcel Reese, the fullback, goes for 11 yards. All right, the Jets again tonight in with a win. Baltimore, if it wins here, clinches a spot, but then the others need help, including Denver. Denver needs 1 loss by either the Jets or Baltimore. Houston needs losses by 2 of the 3, Jets, Baltimore, and Denver. And Pittsburgh needs all 3 of them to lose, Jets, Baltimore, and Denver. Michael Bush for a yard. All right, that Raven defense stout here the second half of the season. 2nd down and 10. And Oakland gets it over to Zach Miller, and the tight end brought that after a gain of about 5.
There you go. Situation like this, don't be afraid, Jim. Can't play cautious. You want to win the tournament, you got to make some birdies. And what do here? 2nd down, they don't like the rhythm of this offense. They're getting comfortable, so you send everybody in the blitz, put the pressure on the defensive backs to cover and make the tackles.
A 3rd and 5 for the Raiders, last in the league in 3rd down efficiency. Last in the NFL in touchdowns produced. And next to last in points. Frye. He had heat, was looking for Murphy. And that was Jarrett Johnson that influenced the pass.
Jarrett Johnson, 95. Just a hard worker. I don't know what else you can say. I mean it as nothing but a big compliment. Comes around the edge against Henderson, gets pressure on Charlie Frye. There is a receiver wide open for the first down. Doesn't have time to get it to him.
Leckler, the Pro Bowler, having a brilliant season, challenging back the all-time punting mark of Sammy Baugh in a season for yardage. He booms this one down, lands at the 1 and into the end zone for a touchback. There's head coach Tom Cable, his team 5-10, his 2nd season, and some wondering his status at the end of the day.
I think he'll be back next year. I'm not saying it. I'm just from what I understand, watching his team, I believe he'll be the head coach again next year.
And that's a running play for 5 with Ray Rice. 2nd down and 5. They'll run it again with Rice. Got a first down, gain of 6. Rice over 100 last week. Flacco's pass deflected and almost intercepted as Huff was closing in on it. That was Rout, the starter for Chris Johnson, who deflected it.
Raiders not good on run defense. I expect the Ravens to try to overpower them.
It's a 2nd and 10. Flacco steps up now, is going to pay the price as the pocket closed quickly. Trevor Scott, we mentioned him a moment ago, and that's sack number 7 on the year.
Well, Trevor Scott, 91, on the outside, just keeps working. And this time, Joe Flacco trying to throw the football down the field. When you throw it down the field and try to look for big plays, the quarterback has to hold the football, and that leads to a few extra sacks. But it's worth it, because when they hit those plays, it's usually the difference in the game.
A 3rd and 13. Oh, and with pressure, Mike Mitchell and that Raider defense allowing 1 first down and then buckling down, forcing a punt.
Right up the middle. When I talk about blitzing, it's about spacing your defense, your players, and it's timing. And Mitchell that time, the Raiders, not a big blitz team, but when they do, it is very effective. Teams are just not ready for it.
Sam Cook. Sends the punt down to Johnny Lee Higgins. Higgins will stay away from this one. Week 17, the Raiders trying to play the spoiler role on the last weekend of the season for the 2nd straight year.
That's right. Don't forget, last year everybody goes, they'll pack it in. I don't know about that. The NFL, they don't play that game anymore.
Fry on the end around to Murphy, and Ray Lewis comes in for the last hit. Ed Reed got to him first in a gain of 4. As McFadden, who's run out of bounds. Bush had a big game in that season finale last year, $177 and a couple of touchdowns.
Well, let's see this today, too. I'm watching it. This Ravens defense, it's been a little, I don't want to say conservative by their standards. Yes, Ed Reed going off the field right now, but with him back, and it is true, it gives him confidence. He's able to line guys up. He's able to get them in position to blitz more. And I just think they're, of course, they're a better team with one of the best safeties in there.
3rd and 7. And Fry gets the time he needs. That's the pass that has no chance of being enough for a first down. Chris Card, a former Raider, riding down Murphy, holding him to 2 yards.
Well, what do? You're the Raiders offense. You expect blitz, so you run routes and you have protection to be ready for that blitz. No, they don't blitz. What happens? Nobody gets open. So it is a guessing game when you're playing this Ravens defense. And that time the Raiders guess wrong.
So back out is Leckler, 54 yards on his first punt. Carr, who just made the tackle, drops back. Carr, interestingly, the Raiders' all-time kickoff return leader. Started his pro career here. Here's Carr on the punt return from the 20. And he scrambles for about 6 yards. First down, 2nd series for the Baltimore Ravens, playing to get into the playoffs, needing a win for the postseason. Flacco stands tall in the pocket, dumps it off for Rice for 9 yards. That's going to be a first down, picked up by McClain.
But Tony Corrente is telling the Raiders that number 65 is coming in. He's eligible. That's Chester as a tight end or an eligible receiver down the field.
He often lines up in that position. Has started the last 3 weeks as an eligible receiver. First snap of the game. On first down, Flacco. All kinds of time now forced to roll out, and it's over the head of Mason.
Mason's upset because Nnamdi Asomugha leaves him. Leaves him when Joe Flacco gets out of the pocket, and he is uncovered down the field. The initial coverage is good. Flacco wanted to go deep, nobody there. And right in your picture at the last second, you saw number 21, who is matching up today against number 85 on the outside.
A good matchup. Asomugha, of course, a Pro Bowler again. Mason another 1,000-yard season, his 8th of his career. 2nd and 10. Works middle. Rice cuts outside. He's going to have the first. On to the Oakland side, all the way down to the 32. Ray Rice. Been healthy all year. He is something else. He too made the Pro Bowl, and rightfully so. Moving in on a 2,000-yard season from the yards from scrimmage.
You know, listen, in that time, I don't know who had contained. I think it was Kurt Morrison. This is what would frustrate you if you're a coach of the Raiders' run defense. You outnumber the offensive run formations. You have extra guys. They can't even block them all, but you still give up those big runs.
Goes for 27. Rice now at 1,999 yards, rushing and receiving. Toss to Rice. He's got his 2,000-yard year. Those two combine and picks up a total of 3.
You know, Jim, just let me explain this to you. Why? Man-to-man coverage. Here comes a guy, got him. One guy in the middle. So I'm saying the Raiders have more guys up than you can block. So when you do that, you expect pretty good results in your run game. They did it all last week against the Cleveland Browns, and it just doesn't work as well as it should.
2nd and 7. Operating at the Oakland 29. Flacco down the field. Heap holds on at the 6. Took a big wallop from Michael Huff. But the tight end who had 2 touchdowns a week ago at Pittsburgh picks up 22.
Oh, yeah, good. I love these passes up the seams. Oh, look at Todd Heap. He looks to the outside. That makes Thomas Howard look like it's, he's going to try to cut the route off, and then Todd Heap changes, goes up the field. Excellent throw.
He caught it twice, actually. McGahee now in the backfield, and hold on. There's going to be a timeout on the Oakland side. Coming out of an Oakland timeout, Jim Nantz and Phil Simms with Baltimore 1st and goal. And it's McGahee. He takes the pile down to about the 2, running behind Ben Grubbs.
Yeah, he pulled around there, and you know what they want to do, run, get behind the big guy. The big guy to me is Michael Orr. Tremendous right tackle, tremendous run block.
Hurry up again continues. Ravens, McGahee's in, walks it in for the touchdown. His 10th rushing touchdown of the season in only 95 rush attempts.
How about that? That was an overpowering drive by this Ravens offense. The offensive line up front, they just push him in the end zone. Oh boy, Matt Burke, the center. You said his name earlier, Ben Grubbs, excellent block. And then when the Ravens throw it, they try to overpower you with the pass game. They throw it down the field.
That no huddle really worked against that Oakland defense. Cundiff came on early in the season after Steve Hauschka was waived. Cundiff we were talking about McGahee, and look at those. He becomes just the 6th player in the last 3 decades to run for double-digit touchdowns in under 100 attempts. Names you know on that list, led by Pete Johnson and the Jingle. Run back is Reese, and he's swamped short of the 20. You know, we're talking about that Shannon Sharpe 96-yard touchdown. The only touchdown scored in that game, a 16-3 victory for the Ravens. And look what's happened to everybody from that game. You called it.
Yeah, how about that? Head coach, starting quarterbacks, and the one score.
They're all on
in
TV.
Television. I like that.
Of course, the Raiders didn't contribute a touchdown, so they couldn't send anyone to the booth.
Oh.
Fry and the Raiders down 7. In the middle, and a catch made by Schillens. Ed Reed wanted a push off, but it's a gain of 15.
Boy, that's a nice job by Charlie Fry, and Schillens going across the field. Charlie Fry anticipates the throw. You be the quarterback right in between the defenders and down low to protect the receiver. And Charlie Fry last week had a few chances to have great success, but when you're not in the, when you're making just a few starts, sometimes hard to find those open receivers.
New set of downs, 35-yard line. Set up screen, and And it is not caught. McFadden tried again.
That's a good time to throw the screen. They catch him on the blitz. Oh boy, all the blockers out in front. McFadden could have, if he could have caught it, could have got some extra yards. And one thing the Raiders want to do when they have the football on offense, Charlie Frye, get rid of the football. That's their number one thought today. Don't hold it, don't take the sacks.
Good fake, Frye. Open man onto the Baltimore side of the turf. That's Johnny Lee Higgins, only his 16th catch of the year, and it's good for 16.
Well, that's the other thing too, Jim. And when you watch them play now, the Raiders, their play action pass game is, I think, really good. Charlie Frye looked down the middle, didn't like it, comes to the right side. Everybody running deep routes. Nice sail job by Higgins.
Frye coming off his first career 300-yard game. McFadden. There's a hold up with two hands, picks up 2 yards. Well, I voted for you many times. I want to see you give yourself the award. I mean, hey, 88%.
That's right. He likes me more than me.
Deserves some consideration. Frye, the pass incomplete. There's a flag down the field, though. McFadden was tangled up with Ed Reed and Frank Walker down the right sideline.
Illegal contact, defense number 41.
That's Walker.
5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And Walker had a pivotal penalty called on him last week at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he did. It was big. Here we go. This is one thing when you're playing the Raiders, Darren McFadden, and you go, what's the big deal? Arm across the chest, the arm bar with the receiver going down the field. As I always say, you go out there and run, let me stick my arm in front of you and see if it doesn't slow you down or change things. But Darren McFadden, excellent receiver, runs good routes, and has great hands.
5-yard mark off to the 42. Frye looking for Reese. And off the fingertips.
I think what gives this Ravens team a lot of hope, if they can win to win today's game, or when they go into playoffs, Jim, and you heard it from Coach Harbaugh, that Chris Carr and Dominique Foxworth doing a good job of covering receivers down the field. And when that happens, gives you more confidence as a defensive coordinator, as a coach. Let's blitz, put more pressure on those corners, and you're going to need that not only to win today, but if you do, to have success in the playoffs, you got to take some chances.
2nd and 10. Pitch it to Bush. He's down to the 39. We saw John Harbaugh. We visited with him earlier in the week, and he talked about a meeting on Monday and how they were going to put behind them the loss to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I said, well, how was the team? He goes, they all came in. Everybody's a little down because they knew they blew a tremendous opportunity in Pittsburgh. But and I wanted to know how he treated the football team. All positive. Picked them up, and he said it was over. The team bounced out of the room, and they were ready to work and get ready for this game.
3rd and 7. See what Frye can do from the gun. Pocket collapsing. Frye scrambling wildly. Does a magnificent job of finding a man downfield. Hits Higgins for the first down. Frye got spun around in all kinds of directions, freeing himself for another 16-yard pass play to Higgins. Oh, now they say incomplete. Now that should have been caught.
Pass has been ruled incomplete.
Especially after the effort by Frye.
That was some movement in the pocket by Charlie Frye. Going to the ground.
Oh, this will be a, well,
hold on. No, here's the rule. Even if you're not hit to the ground, if you are going to the ground to catch the football, you have to keep control of it through the whole process.
You got to challenge this one if you're Tom Cable.
Oakland is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
Did he ever lose possession here as the nose of the football brushes the ground?
Okay, if the ball can hit the ground, Jim, only when you have possession. So if you're losing possession, then if it hits the ground, it was incomplete. I'm going to guess it's incomplete here.
This one,
is
though,
really tight.
This one looks more like a completion than that last replay.
Here he comes.
Pulls it back in. That one looked like it didn't even touch the
After
ground.
reviewing the play, the Oakland receiver maintained possession of the football at the entire catching action. It is a completed pass. It will be Oakland's ball, first down at the 23-yard line. Oakland will not be charged with a timeout.
I think the last replay was the one that won it for him. Watch this. Do you see the football actually touch the ground? From behind it looked like the nose of it was brushing the ground.
Yeah.
From here, I'm not so sure that it ever made contact with the ground. Look at this.
There's a good
Still
shot.
see space. Still see space, and he pulled it back in.
But for everybody, if a defender's taking you to the ground, you have to control the football. And even when you're not with the defender, if you're going to the ground as a receiver, you must keep that ball in your possession at all times.
That was on a 3rd and 7 play. Now they got a first down at the 23. Fry's going to the end zone. And he is knocked down and denied by Landry, who makes a good play.
That's a nice play, a staple of this offense. That time they had a double move to Charlie Fry's right. And if it's not open, then go back to the backside and look. And he does not throw a clean ball. You see it, a little wobble to it, and it allows Landry to get back into play and knock it down.
It's going for Lewis Murphy.
Good route by Murphy.
Yeah, he had separation.
Well, you got to be happy. I know you said the numbers are terrible for these young Raider receivers, but Lewis Murphy, he looks the part.
Little dump pass to Zach Miller for 5 yards, which will close out the first quarter. 7-0 Baltimore after 1. We happen to be in Oakland, and the Ravens, with a win, would play New England no matter what happens the rest of the way. Even in that Cincinnati Jets game tonight, run 3-4 scenario. Cincinnati and New England, they know if they win, their opponent next week will be the Patriots at New England. 3rd down coming up for the Raiders. Janansville Sims starting the second quarter. And the launch to the end zone. His feet are out of bounds. That was McFadden.
Oh, I like the idea. They just clear out the whole side for Darren McFadden. And what they got him against, Ellerbe, the linebacker. Charlie Fry, boy, you have to look it off because you can see defenders, when the football hangs in the air at all, they swarm, and McFadden too. Got to fight through it. Give yourself a little more room where the quarterback can throw it in there.
Janikowski coming in off that huge week last week at Cleveland. The 61-yard field goal, 4th longest ever. He's from 37, far more pedestrian kick for Seabass. And Janikowski delivers it.
I like their running game, and I like when they throw it with a purpose. They do a lot of unbalanced line, Jim. You know, they keep you off guard. They keep you off balance, I should say.
They have a chance to set a lot of Baltimore records here today in terms of production offensively, including the highest scoring Raven team ever. With about 19 points to accomplish that. In fact, that's exactly the number. As they've got Parmalee returning it. 50 footwork. They were a 6th seed last year. They made it all the way to the AFC Championship game at Pittsburgh. Timeout Oakland, second one utilized by the Raiders, both called by their defense.
It's a 30-second timeout.
Coach Harbaugh talking about this year's team by comparison. Maybe doesn't feel it that way to a lot of folks, but he sees improvement really on the defensive side, offensive side, and special teams.
And basically everywhere. He did, the things that had bothered him, Jim, penalties, which missed field goals, penalties, those are the two biggest. And they did struggle covering receivers, but we've already talked about that twice. They feel better about that now.
On first down, Rice cuts back to the right just to get back to the line of scrimmage. They're 8-7 Baltimore, and 5 of their losses are to teams that came into the weekend in first place. And the other 2 losses at Green Bay and at Pittsburgh last week, a game where they had a couple of touchdowns called back, as well as that onslaught of
just
penalties that hurt them.
Incredible. They had sequences in that game. I don't know if I don't know how the coach, how you live through it, but it's what you do. And also, if I was running the football, I'd see where number 92 is, Richard Seymour. I'd run away from him.
2nd and 11. Fake left, go right to Rice. Hit from behind.
Good hustle.
Yeah, good hustle by Matt Shaughnessy, the rookie from Wisconsin.
Bright spot. Yep.
Drafted him in the 3rd round. It's held to a 7-yard gain.
This is how you stop the screen game in the NFL. You expect defensive linemen nowadays to chase it down from behind. If you're a defensive back, make them make the cut. And if a defensive lineman's not chasing down from behind, then you got lazy defensive linemen. Good job by Matt Shaughnessy that time.
3rd and 3, Baltimore goes shotgun. Needing to get to the 38. Kelly Washington. And what about the spot? They're going to give him the 1st down.
What about the play?
Hiram Eugene on the hit.
Kelly Washington, one of your favorite guys, Jim.
Well, the way he used to play special teams up in New England.
It hasn't changed. He's still doing it all here with the Ravens. And that was a good job knowing where to go. Big and strong wide receiver. Catches it, breaks the tackle enough to get the 1st down.
34th catch of the year for Washington. As Rice clutches it and drives ahead for about 3. Rice, I mentioned, has had an injury-free year after missing the last 3 games of the rookie season a year ago with a leg injury. And Rice rewarded with a Pro Bowl spot. Well earned.
Ray Rice, what was the first thing we talked about? He's a lot faster in the NFL than he looked in college. Just shows you how the game fits him. I saw him carry about 400 carries at Rutgers. But in this NFL, he gets it done. Low, runs hard, and is fast.
2nd and 6. McGahee's in for him, and it's McGahee plowing ahead for a yard. Wrapped up quickly by Trevor Scott.
Looked like there was a little unbalanced line there. Trevor Scott, Matt Shaughnessy, young defensive players for the Raiders. Boy, when you watch them, they're there every play. They're always in the screen.
Rice back in, flanking Flacco. Rice, their leading receiver, along with Chris Johnson of Tennessee, the only 2 backs to lead their teams in receptions. They're going to Rice. He has the 1st. And that's Kirk Morrison, frustrated by Rice getting free for 8.
That was clever. Rice coming out of the backfield. Just circles out real quick, and before Kirk Morrison's man, he expected somebody to hit him as he was coming out of the backfield.
This hurry up approach working again. A couple of 3rd down conversions, and Flacco on 1st down. Here comes pressure from behind, and Flacco felt it at the last minute. That was Jay Richardson running him down. No gain.
Well, they're looking for the touchdown, and it's double coverage down the field. And boy, Joe Flacco at the last second saw Jay Richardson save the fumble and saved himself too.
Goes in the books as a sack. Richardson's 3rd of the year. Another one of those young defensive players, just a 3rd-year man out of Ohio State.
Jim, you talked about it. They're holding the football up. The Ravens going no huddle, but when you substitute, you got to allow the defense to get their substitutes in too.
2nd down and 10. Flacco again goes with the safety of Rice. He's backed up about 4. That's Greg Ellis, the former Cowboy, who corralled him back at the 46.
Yeah, Greg Ellis playing hurt. We heard that from Tom Cable, didn't we, a lot. Greg Ellis, Richard Seymour, playing hard, not on winning teams. Talking about 2 guys coming from New England and Dallas.
Seymour, interestingly, 4 sacks on the year. 2 came in the opener against Phillip Rivers. 2 against McNabb in a big win here. And those are his 4. They came in pairs in 2 different games.
Don't judge him on his sacks.
3rd and 15. Flacco's pass deflected. And it was Richard Seymour who got a hand on it.
Yep. You get him to stop the running game, which I think he has done tremendous at. He pushes the pocket, gets in the quarterback's face. Watch him loop around. Here he comes to the right, and times it, gets his hands up, knocks it down.
So the Ravens will have to punt it away again. Cook for the second time. Very good at pinning teams inside the 20. One of the best, in fact, at inside the 10. Some serious hang time on this one. First down, Fry, and that's a completion for about 7 to Zach Miller.
Nice job by Charlie Fry. Very decisive here today. You can tell he's locked in, believes in what they're doing. And I was down the field. I said, well, why are you wearing that left glove there? You know, is it all style? And I think the cold weather, he put it on. He kind of likes it. And then he hurt his left hand. So he needs the left glove to kind of protect it.
You see there the career numbers last week in terms of passing yardage. Surprising, this is his 23rd start in the NFL between Cleveland, Seattle, and Oakland. Didn't think of him necessarily that many starts. So they get the first down with McFadden running up the middle for 5. Fry, who came out of Akron and stayed locally with the Browns, and then after the first game of his second year, it was a miserable outing for the Browns that day. They traded him away.
Yep.
Trade him away to Seattle.
Derek Anderson thought, well, they're going to get rid of me too. They said, no, you're going to start this week. And he had a tremendous year for him.
And first down. With Fry going sideline, incomplete. Outstretched arms of Schillens. 2nd and 10 on the way. A man who brought great glory to this Raider franchise and to the broadcast business right there in the middle, John Madden, attending today. It's his wife, Virginia, right there in the foreground. And just a week ago, they celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. So congratulations to a Hall of Fame couple. And to John's left, his son, Mike. 2nd down and 10 for the Raiders. Baltimore showing blitz. Zukowski, and the Raiders take the middle of the field. Schillens hurdling and still going. Boy, he went right over Chris Carr. Fry may have been shaken up. He got hit by Barnes. Play goes for 22.
Yeah, it does. First off, pressure on Charlie Fry. Hangs in there. Boy, he takes another hit. He's been limping around a little bit already today. And then the Ravens, they make a mistake on the defensive side. Nobody covering Chaz Schillens.
Longest play for the Raiders today. Watch this move.
Ooh.
Right over Chris Carr.
Yeah, it's a good move, but I'd say don't do it. Protect yourself. Too many players in this league try to jump over guys.
From the 48 of Baltimore. And McFadden manages a yard. Yeah, Fry's been beaten up here in the first quarter and change, first quarter and a half. And this Raider team's gone through some quarterbacks this year. Jamarcus Russell just woeful in his performances. Gradkowski came in and gave them some really good moments, including a win at Pittsburgh, his hometown. There's Russell backing up today. J.P. Lossman signed late in the season, got in for a couple of plays against Denver 2 weeks back.
Jim, you're right. Charlie Fry, he's laboring. He's limping around.
He's taking the snap at 2nd and 9. And he's decked again.
Boy, that was just this Raiders offensive line. If I had to categorize it, I'd just go probably not as strong as they should be. Don't overpower in a run game. And look at that one that time. This is a pass rush that has not been, I'm going to be fair, it's been okay this year by the Ravens, and they overpowered the offensive line, just pushed them back in to Charlie Fry.
Push back Mario Henderson, Juan Edwards, Rel Suggs, and on the sack, so 3rd and 17 for the Raiders. This is where it's difficult for them. They don't have that big outside threat. Fry's pass, caught, Schillens comes back for it. It'll still be 4th down, 4th and about 7 to go. And Fry again taken to the ground after the pass play of 10. Trevor Price was the one who hit him this time.
Yeah, well, when you're trying to throw it down the field, this is just what's going to happen. You're going to take some hits. And a good job by Trevor Price. Boy, he was on the quarterback last week a few times.
Leckler has to come in and say, wait a minute, guys, it's going to kill my average here. I'm going for the record, okay? The max I can get is 45 yards. The team's saying, how about something a little inside of that?
I'll tell you what, he can punt it. He's one of the, false start.
False start. Offense, number 83. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Take another one so you can get you a 55. Take 2 more, you can get you a 60-yarder.
Leckler saying to his teammates, just do that a couple more times.
I'll tell you this, though. I watched him warm up before the game. He's like the 4th quarterback.
He's very athletic.
It's incredible.
Good golfer. Tremendous leg. We were at Thanksgiving Day, of course, down in Dallas for the Raiders and Cowboys. We saw him in warm-ups hitting the big scoreboard. This is a good one by Leckler. Does he get the favorable bounce? Oh, what a beauty. Forget about yardages. How about the touch with that one? 45-yard wedge shot with a little backspin. First down from the 4, and wide open is Heath. So they get out of a jam right away. Flacco to the tight end.
It's universal, Jim. When you're backed up, everybody has this type of play. And it always involves the fullback in the flat, the tight end going deep to the outside. You've seen it many times. We talk about it. That is what you got to look for in the passing game coming out from the end zone.
4 minutes to go, first half. And McGahee gets free. Stiff arm, knocks the defender down. Knocked down Hiram Eugene, and McGahee's taken it the distance. My goodness, this is a play Eugene's never going to want to see again.
That was really McGahee. And he comes in, he's fresh, him and Ray Rice. What a tandem. And when you're looking for a big play, he knows. First off, look at the blocking inside. How about Ben Grubbs? But he slows down. What a stiff arm. Football on the outside. Everything's perfect.
.77 yards. McGahee, boy, reminds me of a touchdown run. He had a couple of years ago at Dallas. Now the Ravens shred the Raiders with Willis McGahee taking it 77 yards. Remember, that started back at the 5 after the beautiful punt by Leckler. One throw to Heap for 18, and then 77 by McGahee does the rest. Russell. It's a 15-yard return out to the 21. What happened on that touchdown run?
I don't know, a lot of things, Jim. You know, first off, watch Ben Grubbs. He comes around. He gets a great block. Michael Orr, those are the 2 guys, along with Todd Heap. He seals it in there. McClain, look at those blocks. Ben Grubbs got a couple guys. And then McGahee, the presence to slow down and know that it's just a one-on-one battle. And that is when you tackle high, which so many defenders do now, when you tackle high, you get stiff-armed a lot easier.
John Harbaugh offering some praise for his veteran running back. 3:49 to go now in the half, and Fry and the Raiders look up for a short one to Zach Miller. Chris Carr brings him down.
Does that make sense to you, though, when you tackle high because you're up here?
Off balance. That just a little push and you're off balance.
And it's so evident now when you watch NFL games. And, you know, players can't do anything about it. You know why? Because they tackle high at every level now. So when they get to the pros, that's just the way it is. And I don't know if it's just me, but boy, I see a lot of good stiff arms now. I think because of that. That's one of the reasons.
2nd and 9. Murphy tries to duck under Ray Lewis. about 4 yards short of the first. So fundamentally, for the kids out there, what would you like to see more of tackling wise?
Well, I can't say I can do it from experience because I was a linebacker in high school, but as Chris Spillman would say, I love listening. You get down low, you drive your shoulder through them, and you get both arms wrapped around their legs and you take them down. So that's about as good as I can do. But it makes sense. If you had to tackle these big guys, I don't know if I'd ever get above their knees. I'd be down there grabbing those ankles.
3rd down and 4. Raiders in danger of giving it right back to Baltimore before the half. Fry incomplete. But a flag. And that'll give Oakland the first down. Carr was defending on Murphy.
Yeah, I'm watching it. This is about as close as it could happen to us. It looked like Chris Carr timed it. The football was in Murphy's hands, and he just knocked it out.
Pass interference, defense, number 25. Automatic first down.
Oh, boy. In the slot, here they are. Let's watch it, the breakout. So my eyes didn't deceive me.
Just what you thought.
Just what I thought. Excellent play by Chris Carr.
But he's flagged instead, so the Raiders set it down from the 38. Plays out the fake for a long time. And down the field, he finds Higgins.
Oh, I mean, I'll tell you what. Charlie Fry, it's
21 yards picked up. Fry again knocked down.
It's not that he's going down. He's going down hard. Well, that wasn't as bad as I thought.
1st and 10, Raiders at the 2-minute mark. And that's a completion to Murphy. Chased out of bounds by Landry. Again, this drive sustained because of the penalty call against Carr. That picks up 17.
This is what you want your offense to look like. What have the Raiders done today? They tried some screens. They threw some quick passes. They're throwing it down the field. These play actions, move in the pocket. A lot of different ways to make it work, and well-rounded. And this is, I think, one of the things that Tom Cable, the head coach, was talking about. We couldn't do all this early in the year. Young quarterback, of course, that's going to hurt you a little bit. But the offense has definitely picked it up the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Miller in traffic and fighting for some tough yards down to the 18. Give him about 5. You know, when we talked to Tom Cable this week, he really felt like this could have been a playoff year. You know, they had a little bit more solidity at the quarterback position.
Yeah, you know.
But, you know, you look at the wins, Phil. 5 wins, 5 and 10. All 5 wins by 4 points or less. So, I mean, they worked hard for their wins. You look at the Ravens' 8 victories. They average victory is by more than 20 points a game.
That's it. That's how you look at it, Jim. And, you know, they have played their best football, no doubt, over the last 6 weeks.
2nd down and 5, we'll call it.
Who's that going to be on? Defense encroachment, or did the left tackle Henderson leave too quick?
Neutral zone infraction, defense number 50. Steps into the neutral zone, causing an offensive player to false start. 5-yard penalty. It will remain 3rd down.
You say they played better football, the Raiders, the back half of the year. When they played teams that are 500 or better, they've gone 4-3 here down the stretch. I mean, teams like, again, Cincinnati, Denver, Philadelphia, at Pittsburgh. The record's been worse against sub-500 teams.
Yeah, you know, a couple things. One, I think Tom Cable's learning how to be a head coach better, of course, managing a team. But he said something really caught my attention. It's not a good thing. Playing harder, longer.
2nd and 1. Given the time he needs, Fry's now with no options, throwing it away. 3rd and 1, and they have 1 timeout. Raiders. Fry can run for it. And the spot is going to be good for a 1st down. He got a block. McFadden on Nata. Nata slow to get up.
1st down, Raiders.
Trying to shake it off, Nata.
Again, nice play action. I like it, getting Charlie Fry outside the pocket. I think he's That's where he feels the most comfortable. I think he throws the football on the run pretty well. Take advantage of that against a aggressive defense that can slow blitzes down when you move the quarterback around.
Natas steps out. He's a Pro Bowler this year, 1 of 5 on the Baltimore side.
He deserves it.
First down from the 12. And Fry back to the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. Zach Miller and the Raiders' first touchdown of the day, first in 2 weeks.
This Zach Miller, number 80. Here he comes up the field. Nice move. Gets Ray Lewis. Makes him think he's going across the field. Takes it down the middle. This is a defense that the Ravens have been playing of late. So the Raiders were ready for it. Good design.
Miller, a Pro Bowl alternate this year. Janikowski adds the extra point. Miller and Todd Heap, the tight end on the Ravens side, both raised in the Phoenix area. Both standouts at Arizona State, 2 of the best. And Miller has a touchdown for the Oakland side. Fry's first touchdown pass since October of 08 with Seattle.
And what they were, Ray Lewis was really like a safety there. He's in the deep middle. They've been playing this coverage the last few weeks that I've noticed. And Jim, I'll tell you, this Zach Miller, every time I watch the Raiders, I go, I think I underestimate him. He's, to compare him, a lot like Jason Witten, a little faster than you think, gets down the field, and look at this catch.
Beautiful
Boy, that's
catch.
A beautiful catch. Perfect throw by Charlie Fry.
Charlie Fry's, he has been gutting it out here. There's that first touchdown pass, and some 15 months. He's going to head in early for a little treatment with 47 seconds to go before the intermission. Parmalee's the Baltimore returner now that Ladarius Webb is on injured reserve, out with the knee, done for the year. And Parmalee shakes off a hit. He's got Janikowski slowing him down, and the Ravens are in business with 37 seconds to go in the half. Finally shoved out by Brandon Myers, got away from him, and then some help, ending a 54-yard return.
You think it's over? Well, that time it is a tackle low, but no hands, no arms to go with it.
That was Myers who had that play on him right here.
Watch it. He just tries the body blocking.
Yep.
Boy, good balance by Parmalee. Well, you got everything going your way.
Baltimore with all of its timeouts. Cundiff on the sideline, waiting to be called into action. That's Mason. Tiptoes past the hit, and he's able to get free. Boy, the Raiders are just not making the tackles. 23 on Mason's first catch of the game.
Yeah, and you're playing a defense to tackle. So you see it, it's a zone, you should swarm it. And that's just a good job. Derek Mason, there's a reason why he's been so successful. Very fast in a small spot.
Rice. And that's good for 2. Remember the last time Baltimore had it, 95 yards in 2 plays. Raiders come back with a hard-earned drive for a score, and now the big kick return and the pass play to Mason.
Well, the Ravens, I think it's evident, don't just settle for the field goal. With 2 timeouts, they have many plays that go up the field. They are a very good seam throwing, throw it in between defenders type of pass team. And that's what you need right here.
They're using the first timeout, leaving them with 2. 2nd and 8. And another timeout coming up at the 14. And that's a catch by Kelly Washington.
You know, last week was a lot like today, Jim, for the Raiders. They moved the ball. I forgot how many plays they had inside the Cleveland 30-yard line and got no. I think it was, I'm going to guess, somewhere around 20.
Yep, 20 plus.
20 plus. No, in fact, I think, yeah, 20 plus. No touchdown.
3rd and 5 from the 15. Flacco going to run. He's past the line of scrimmage, I believe. But no flag.
It was close.
Well, I thought they snapped it at the 15. Looked like he released it maybe close to the 13.
Ray Rice.
Which would be lost it down too had they call it.
It would have been challenged by the booth.
Look here, they snapped it at the 15. Okay, it's already at the 13 and 13.5-yard line. That is a penalty. Oh, now they stop it.
Yep.
This is going to be an easy overturn.
Yep, the rule is it's right on the 15. When that ball comes out of his hand, that's where you judge it from. When it comes out of his hand, is any part of his body at the line of scrimmage? And the answer is no.
And here comes Corrente with the news we
After reviewing
expect.
the quarterback was at the 14-yard line when he threw the ball. Therefore, it is an illegal forward pass against Baltimore. This penalty is a 5-yard penalty and a loss of down, and it also, in this situation, carries a loss of 10 seconds. However, Baltimore is being asked if they wish to exercise a timeout in lieu of losing 10 seconds.
Well explained by Tony
Baltimore
Corrente.
has exercised the option of allowing 10 seconds to be run off the game clock. The game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 2 seconds, and the game clock will start on the snap.
Well, and now, as they line up and they blow the whistle, John Harbaugh needs to call a timeout. Do you understand? Because when they blow the whistle to put the football in play, the clock will start. Then, I think, I'm going to tell you the truth, I'm not 100%. Then you can call your timeout. But if not, you better be ready over the football. And when you hear that whistle blow, you better snap that football immediately.
We got 5 officials that were huddling next to Tom Cable to explain this one. One over visiting with Harbaugh.
5-yard penalty. They've accepted the 5-yard penalty.
So Oakland accepts the penalty, as
sure,
you would expect, as a loss of down anyway. So it's going to be snapped from the 19. It'll be about a 37-yard try for Cundiff, who was 18 of 21. Pretty interesting. He was out of the league, former Cowboy kicker, but he was out of the league in 07 and 08.
The clock will start on the snap of the ball.
So they're not going to run the clock until the ball is snapped. So no chance that they'll have to utilize that timeout quickly.
Okay.
Baltimore trying to go into the locker room with a 7-point lead. Kick no good. Little inside maybe on the snap. Katula to Cook. Timing a little bit off. Low and inside. Did that influence it? Who knows? 37 yards. Football coming to Baltimore to begin the second half. They had won the coin toss and deferred to the second half.
And you know, too, when you watch these games, teams that are out of it, they play hard.
Parmalee had that 54-yard return. Rice. He somehow squeezes out 4, maybe 5 with that run.
It's a good word. He squeezes a lot of runs out. And talked about it.
And Houston needs 2 teams to lose. Pittsburgh needs Baltimore, Denver, and then the Jets tonight. All to go down to make the playoffs. 2-yard run this time for Rice. 3rd and 3 for Baltimore. Been a thrilling day, though, in the NFL. You look around some of the things that happened, that Pittsburgh-Miami game. Well, that got awfully tight at the end. Houston coming back from 14 down in the 4th quarter to beat the Patriots. Their first winning season ever at 9-7. And watching this one with great interest. Congratulations to Gary Kubiak and his team winning last 4 games of the season. Owner Bob McNair. Here's the pass on 3rd down, incomplete. That was intended for Mason, and the Raiders come right out defensively and force a 3 and out.
Yeah, really clever what they did. They double covered top of your screen. Oh, Mason comes inside. I was wrong. So they were trying to get it to him, and they switched it off. And a good job by Branch picking it up and being all over him. Joe Flacco has to throw it away.
Higgins, who had 3 punt returns for touchdowns a year ago, 93, 89, and 80 yards. He doesn't have a chance to run this one back, but there is a flag. Higgins with nothing longer than a 19-yard run back in the return game this year, punt-wise. 43-yard punt. Fry,
during the
remember,
kick,
left early.
holding receiving team number 31. This penalty be assessed half a distance to the goal from the end of the kick.
Charlie Fry is trying to stay loose on a stationary bike, and instead, though, of being in the huddle and at the line of scrimmage, it's Russell taking his position. Handoff, first down for Michael Bush, and there was a full chorus of boos when the crowd here saw that Russell was replacing Fry at quarterback. This Oakland fan base very much had it with Jamarcus Russell and his lack of production and lack of effort in his 3rd year after being the first pick in the draft back in 2007.
I'll tell you, first off, Charlie Fry hung in there, and you can't help but feel a little sorry for him to play as hard as he did the first half and not be able to come out here and continue this in the second.
2nd down and 7. Russell on target. That was a good-looking pass to Schillens. First down at the 31.
Yeah, Jamarcus Russell had.
That's because Fry got banged up. J.P. Lossman was in there for a brief bit, and Russell did throw a game winner in that one. First down, run again, and that's Bush. 6 catches on the game overall for Miller. 2nd and 5. Swing it over, Bush. Near a first. Raiders and Ravens in a tight one here. Russell on 3rd and less than a yard, and boy, were the Ravens waiting for that one.
Oh, that was sellout all the way. The Ravens saying that you're going to run the football. They outnumber them. They put pressure. They got everybody at the line of scrimmage ready for the blitz. There's just not enough people to pick up all the rushes. Nowhere for Michael Bush to run. Ray Lewis, oh yeah, coming all the way across, wipe it up. Second man there, go for the football.
He's back, Leffler.
It's unbelievable.
Kills this one. Carr's going to take it at the 3. And Carr has a seam. There is a flag as he takes it 47 yards back to the 50. That was a 57-yard punt. John Kondo, the long snapper, brought him down, but it's coming back, it appears.
During the return of the kick, holding number 84 receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Here we go, right in the middle of your screen. Edgar Jones on Trevor Scott. Trevor Scott's not going to make the tackle. You're right, Jim. Put the Ravens really one good first down away from at least getting a field goal try.
Instead of the 50, they're at the 20. Flacco's going play action and over the head of Heath.
They had it. They had the coverage they wanted that time for the big play. Todd Heap is going through the coverage and nobody is on him. And Joe Flacco, I don't know, I didn't see pressure on him. He just doesn't throw it soft enough for Todd Heap to make the catch.
Flacco with 89 yards passing. Right at 3,600 yards on the season. On 2nd and 10. That is Rice meeting up with Tyvon Branch, who's been a nice surprise for the Raiders this year. The second-year man from Connecticut. Strong safety.
Yeah, Tom Cable brought him up right away, didn't he? He goes, our safeties are playing well. And when you have corner play that's good, you can blitz because you can trust them. And when your safeties play well, what it can do, it takes a lot of 20-yard plays, and you hope it turns them into 5-yard plays because their ability to make tackles at the line of scrimmage.
Oakland trying to force a second consecutive 3-and-out. And they're going to get it as they get to Flacco. Mike Mitchell and Michael Huff come blitzing right in on Flacco for the sack.
Not ready for the blitz. Quarterback's right. They come all three. 2 blockers over there. Joe Flacco sees it, but he can't even get rid of the football. There's nowhere to throw it quick enough. That's twice I've seen the Raiders blitz. Twice they have sacked Joe Flacco.
Cook standing at the goal line. And this one a low line driver picked up on the hot Higgins. And then wrestled down. Well, Oakland starts at its own 48. Plow ahead for a couple. Okay, so 17 all in that one. And the Broncos with a win and a loss here by Baltimore or tonight by the Jets would put them in the playoffs. A 2nd down and 8. And Russell, he threw that one on a line to Murphy, who runs away from Lewis and picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, Jamarcus Russell, pressure around him. Stands in there and puts it right on the money. Louis Murphy comes across the field, and they talked about him. He just needs to polish up a little, but when you watch him, and I watched him in the games leading up to this, you see him run routes. Looks pretty polished to me.
From the Baltimore 39, Bush now cuts in and picks up a yard. The Raiders this entire season have produced 1 third-quarter touchdown. We saw it. It was in the game at Dallas on Thanksgiving Day, and a touchdown pass to Darius Hayward-Bay, the rookie, 7th selection overall in the draft. He caught it, his only touchdown of the season. He's inactive, by the way, today. That's the only third-quarter touchdown they've managed. So far, no points on the board since the intermission. 2nd down and 9. And that ball was deflected. What it is about Russell, he throws when he gets the time, he throws a very impressive spiral football with a lot of heat on it.
Well, you cover a lot of golf. I'd say he's equivalent to somebody. Yeah, he can hit it literally 350 yards off the tee, but he still shoots over par. And he's just got to learn to corral it, to be more consistent, and to be a big-time NFL quarterback, you've got to be dead on accurate. And that's, I think, one of the biggest things. That, and you just got to start working harder. If your quarterback is not the hardest worker on your football team, I'll show you a team that's not going to the playoffs.
False start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty remains 3rd down.
So back up the Raiders another 5. Now that's been kind of the whisper that's out there about Russell. Well, he's not in shape. I mean, all you have to do seriously is look at him and you can see he's a 6'6", impressive talent, but it just hasn't come together.
It's not a whisper anymore, Jim. No, it's there. Even Coach Cable said things this week. Yeah, they like the kid. He can do it. Got to work harder at it.
3rd and 14. He's on target this time. That's what you're talking about. Schillens with the catch, and the Raiders have a 1st down. Pick up a 17.
That was now. See, that's the 350-yard drive right down the middle. When you give him a little window, nice route. They love this route. They fake like they're going to the sideline, and Schillens turns it back to the inside. How about this strike? And that's That's what you want to see from Jamarcus Russell. He makes it look so easy. He can make difficult plays without the effort. And that's when you can get greatness, really, from the quarterback position.
Now at the Baltimore 28. And that's Bush. He was tripped up quickly and held to about a 2-yard gain.
You know, too, Jim, the Raiders passing offense is the last 6 or 7 games. They've opened it up. I think they got good rhythm. They keep some drives going. They pick up more situational plays than they did early in the year.
But that's with Gradkowski at quarterback, and then
Fry.
After Gradkowski got hurt.
But Jamarcus Russell did win him a game.
He did at Denver.
And his size and talent won that game that day.
He was able to shake off a sack on a 4th down play. Kept the winning drive going. He hit Tony Stewart. 2nd down and 9 for the Raiders. Trying to play the spoiler role today. Keep Baltimore out of the playoffs. Russell still has it and falls forward. That'll go down as a sack. Kelly Gregg got to him.
Actually, good job, I think, by Jamarcus Russell. He's going to throw it to his left, try to hit the receiver, but he holds on to it. And why is because he didn't see it clearly. Zach Miller, he's covered in the flat. But when you don't see it clearly, the play is designed to throw it out. So that's why he pulled it down. Ray Lewis was right underneath the wide receiver. If he throws it, bad things were going to happen.
4 seconds on the play clock, 3rd and 9. Just in time, they snap it, and Russell goes sideline short of the 1st down. Over to Schillens with the catch at the 22. So bring out Janikowski. They picked up 4, and they needed 9.
Still good throw and catch.
Janikowski has 997 career points. You can reach 1,000 right here with this field goal from 39 yards.
One thing about the Raiders, their special teams are pretty solid.
Well, you talk
That's
about
an understatement.
Leckler and Janikowski. You're not kidding. From 39, Janikowski, and he is good again. Well, Janikowski, the first Raider to put up 1,000 career points, and he brings Oakland within 1 point here in the 3rd quarter. Line drive, snatched at the 1 by Parmalee. He has been dogged. And that determination on the return game. Parmalee with a 33-yard run back, and flags on a skirmish broken up near midfield. Thought there might be a few flags here today. The 2 most penalized teams in the league are here in Oakland today. Or 2nd and 3rd, I should say. Packers are 1st. Raiders 2nd most penalty flags. Ravens 3rd.
There is no foul at the end of the play for unsportsmanlike conduct. Both players were pushing, shoving, and grabbing one another. Therefore, no foul.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, pushing, shoving, cajoling.
Good no call, though.
First down at the 34. Playing a little football, that's all it was. And going for 2 yards.
Let him up,
McGahee.
let him up. Seems like the Raiders have just been dominating the game, except for 1 run, Jim, for the last quarter and a half.
Yeah, the long bust free, 77 yards by McGahee. 2nd and 9. And it's Flacco incomplete. Ray Rice with a rare drop. He's got a good set of hands. Caught a lot of balls in high school.
Well, they got him coming out of the backfield. The tight end Todd Heap is open. Watch Ray Rice cuts it inside. Kirk Morrison can't readjust. He just drops the pass. And what they've done, the Raiders are taking away Derek Mason and just telling the Ravens, throw it to somebody else.
Rice didn't see a lot of balls out of the backfield at Rutgers, but they knew at Baltimore that he could catch. They saw all the film back to his high school days. 3rd down and 8. Raiders blitz. Chase. And they get the Flacco for the sack.
What timing. It's Asamoah all the way from the outside. Look where he comes from. And it's not that he gets there, but it distracts Joe Flacco. Takes his eyes off. Here he comes. Look at this timing. And this distracts Joe Flacco when he pulls it down. Now he's looking at the rushers, not looking downfield, and another good job of this Raiders defense.
You do have to say that Rice picked him up, but still.
Yeah, just caught his eye, the flash.
Yep. And everyone else was storming through too. That's the 4th sack by Oakland. Cook sends it down the Higgins 25-yard line, and decked in a hurry by David Tyree, a former Giant. 42-yard punt, 2-yard return.
And the Ravens, their second receiver, they're doing a lot of move goes. The second guy they're looking to has been open all day.
Russell still has it. And he's brought down by Ed Reed. Wow, how about the Chiefs in that effort today on the road, up 10. And they've got the football back after forcing the Broncos to punt just a second ago. 2nd and 7 here, and Russell outflings it. Miller decked just short of the first, I believe. That was Ellerby who pushed him back half-yard shy of a first.
Yeah, but good work in the pocket again by Jamarcus Russell. The Ravens coming with some looks. You see the blitz to the outside. It's picked up. Doesn't panic. Stays in there. Then flicks it.
They're going to go ahead and ask for the measurement. Looked like it was a little bit short. And remember, the first time Russell came in his first series, they had a 3rd and a foot situation. They ran it and lost 2 yards.
Yeah, they tried to go outside, I thought, Jim, on their run, and this will be interesting. The Ravens will probably crowd the middle and tell them, if you want to get this first down, you're going to go off tackle. You see it, I see it constantly. You haven't seen it in college now. So hard to pick up these situations.
Haloti Ngata, there you see him, number 92, comes back onto the field. He's only seen a few snaps in the second half after getting injured late in the second quarter. 3rd and a foot. Russell dives for it. Should have it.
He did the right thing. He did not go right up the middle. He goes over the right guard. They were in the defense, I thought. They have stacked the middle. And he just goes behind the right guard and falls forward. I would say stay up a little longer. That way you can avoid even more hits.
Last minute of the 3rd quarter. Baltimore leads at 14-13. But 10 unanswered by Oakland. And Russell hit when he threw it, and he was picked. It's Ellerby. Ellerby cutting back middle, and finally brought down by Sartelli. And Russell is hearing about it.
Well, it was a good job by the Ravens getting pressure right off the snap. To his left. Can't see who it is. Might be Suggs. Oh, no, it's Jared Johnson. And then under the pressure, Jamarcus Russell off target. How about Ellerby? Man, did he run with this football. And when he cuts it back, he's going to go and score. Ah, somebody he tripped.
Harbaugh knowing that's a big boost. The rookie from Georgia giving his team the football at the 22, a 28-yard return. And it's McGahee already twice in the end zone today. Brought down by Seymour. One will likely close the 3rd quarter.
Somebody make a play. Ellerby did.
14-13 Ravens through 3 quarters. We start the fourth quarter. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms in Oakland. Baltimore had no yards in that third quarter until the last play of the quarter, the 6-yard run by McGahee, which sets it up 2nd and 4 to start the fourth quarter. With McGahee again bulldozing for a first. Another 5 for McGahee. He's closing in on 100 on limited carries, that 177-yard run. He's at 97 right now on 7 rushes, 2 touchdowns. And a first down for Baltimore. Tommy Kelly and a couple of other Raiders hold them to a 3-yard run. Tommy Kelly in on that last play has to come out.
You said the word right. Big Tommy Kelly. Standing right next to Richard Seymour, and you think, wow, Richard Seymour almost looks like a wide receiver next to him.
2nd and 7. They can pick up a first just inside the 1. Sidearm pass down to the 1. Near a first. And it's McClain with the catch. Looks like it's going to be 1st and goal to go.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy read. McClain is open right away. Joe Flacco waits too long as he looks down the field, but a nice throw over the top, off balance. Looks like he's got a first down, Jim.
William Joseph runs in. Mitchell runs out. 1st and goal, and McGahee has touchdown number 3 on the day. Coming off the interception thrown by Russell.
Took advantage of it right away. Couple good runs by this Ravens. Of course, McGahee having a good day. But that series, it was all about their offensive lineman. He went to the sideline and go, come on, let's make this happen. Kind of goes back to the theme of the day. Out-hit your opponent. That includes your offensive lineman, of course, too.
8-point lead.
2 running backs, some teams 3. It's just the way the NFL is right now.
And 3 rushing touchdowns in a game ties a Raven record set twice by Jamal Lewis. Russell will not run it back, so coming out to the 20.
Well, the fans are trying to boo Jamarcus Russell, but they can't even get, there's not enough of them to get the energy to go. So it's kind of like half-hearted.
There's a throw over to Higgins to about the 37. Again, so much interest around the country. The likes of Pittsburgh and Houston fans needing help there and here. 1st down and 10. And that's Bush for 3 yards. 2nd down and 7. And Russell pass incomplete. Almost a valiant one-handed grab by Marcel Reese. Looks like Cowboys are going to win, and if they do go on, close it there. That'll put Minnesota now back into the 2 spot and give them a first week bye. That would send Philadelphia back to Dallas next week for the rematch. Whistles first on the 3rd down call.
Timeout. Baltimore.
We emerge from a Baltimore timeout with 11:45 to go, and the Raiders 3rd and 7 from the 41. Russell's pass. It's caught by Murphy. Boy, he threaded that right between 2 Baltimore defenders and picks up 20.
Well, Dominique Foxworth, he thinks he's going to get 24, bottom of your screen. Reads it well, sees the football, going to go in there and knock it down. No, you're not. Gets there pretty quick when Jamarcus Russell throws it. That is a beautiful throw.
Boy, was that accurate.
It is, and spinning so perfectly it almost wobbled. But that's what you can do. You can protect, send less people out, and he can throw it in between players.
From the 39 and around Murphy. Got the edge. And Murphy scampers for a first down. Ran away from Ray Lewis. That rookie 4th-round pick from Florida. Quite a find.
Yeah, he really is. Good job. Lead blocker Zach Miller. Nobody really there. Yeah, he gets just a hand on Suggs to keep him from making a tackle at the line of scrimmage. And Schilling's good job of blocking downfield on Foxworth. Raiders, a lot of good plays. They just don't cash them in.
First down from the 26. Just a yard for Michael Bush, who has not gotten untracked. Not a lot of room to run today for Michael Bush. 10 carries, 18 yards.
Yeah, he knows, though, Jim. Not a lot of room, but that time, if he cuts it back, there's room. But when you're not used to seeing space, you take that first couple of yards that's given to you, and every once in a while you're going to miss out on a big play.
McFadden now the tailback on 2nd and 9. He comes out in motion. Russell wanting to go left. Got the time. Now football is free. He lost the football, and the Ravens have recovered. A second giveaway in this half. There is the man who recovered the fumble, Dannell Ellerbe, with a pick.
Another
and a recovery.
Yeah, what they were doing once again, Jim, they were doing a little pump fake, trying to go down the field. He's looking for his secondary receiver. He's covered, and, you know, it's just a lack of snaps. That's all it is. Experience, playing time. You know, I'm not going to sit here and just beat on Jamarcus Russell, because I think there's a little more to it than that. He's done some good stuff since he's been in here. But one thing you learn as a quarterback, 2 hands on that football at all times.
All right, plays over.
And that is Ray Rice. You know, your wild card contender. Still trying to sort it out here late in week 17. 2nd and 5 Baltimore with Rice. 1 yard away from a first. And again, a Baltimore win here would set up, no matter what else happens, it would set up Baltimore at New England.
Well, special playoff edition. We got a special group in the studio. And Ray Rice shows a little daylight. What I like about him, when he sees a little space in between defenders, he takes it right now and very aggressive. Stays low to the ground, bends over, tough to tackle.
3rd and 1. And that's McGahee picking up the first down with 8:25 to go.
Hard to tell. McGahee and Rice, they have one thing in common, right? They take it at full speed. This offensive line of the Ravens, it's not been a great day, but they are a terrific situational run football team. Everybody struggles in certain situations in the NFL running the football now, but the Ravens, athletic, they're quick, they're big up front. 2 running backs understand they get it done.
And they have Gaither back today on that left side. Number 71, they're running behind him now with McGahee galloping to the Oakland side of the field. And Eric Mason also threw a block. We were just mentioning Gaither, and he helped clear that side for 17.
I tell you, now they can run behind both tackles. And just good blocking. Oh, that's, Jim, you said it right. Gaither, good block on the outside. You don't see in the NFL running backs get out there that quick and easy. Good job by number 71. Gaither getting it done.
Baltimore perhaps one good drive away from locking up the postseason. And shaking off a hit. It's Rice down to the 42.
Wow. I really expected more of this tough running. They got some great statistics here today running. Grubbs inside. Oh, McClain, good block up front. Everybody pushing their guy out. But how about that run? 2 hands on the ball.
Pinball wizard we heard earlier.
Yeah, he just, and the thing is, Ray Rice is not a tall running back even by NFL standards. Then he bends over and gets his pads going forward. Makes him tough.
2nd and 4. That's Rice, and he loses a yard. All right, well, good for Chris Johnson. reaching that milestone with those stats. But by the way, Derek Johnson has picked off for the second time an Orton pass and run it back for a touchdown. Put Kansas City up 13, 3rd and 5, and they pick up another first. That was Mark Clayton with a 7-yard grab, his first catch today.
Nice job. Sails the route to the outside, gets route moving there, then good, puts that right foot in the ground, comes underneath, and Joe Flacco right on target.
There's Jim Harbaugh, Stanford coach.
Good game the other day against Oklahoma.
Yeah. Oklahoma ended up winning that one down in Old El Paso. But what a season he had coaching the Cardinal, looking on, watching his brother's team in action here today. McGahee moves forward for 1. Richardson runs him down. That's a family that they believe in toughness, but I'll tell you what, they know how to lead. They get it from their dad. And it's a short run for McGahee. Give him 3. He's at 126 on the game.
It's a big drive, 21-13, up 8.
And there's Mr. Harbaugh on the left.
Well, what did
he was pitching in and helping Stanford a little bit in the Sun Bowl.
What did John say? Jim will say, throw it more. Dad will go, be calm, hang in there, make the right decisions.
Got a big decision here, 3rd and 6. It's a 1-possession game with 4 minutes to go. The drive that's gone 5.5 minutes, and he got it away. That was Branch, picked up by the Raiders. Looks like on the field they're going to call that a fumble and not an incomplete pass.
Well, they're going to let the play go. That's the right thing to do. But the other officials do see it, and they're going to rule it an incomplete pass. And now Tony Corrente is going to go. Was there a receiver there?
The play is ruled as an incomplete forward pass. No foul for intentional grounding as the receiver was in the area. 4th down.
I'll tell you, Flacco getting that way as an incompletion sets up a field goal try now. Kept them in field goal range.
Yeah,
definitely incomplete.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about that. They would have got that. Ray Rice is out in the flat, but when you see all those Raiders at the line of scrimmage, you've got to know, Joe Flacco's got to know, going forward in this game, next game, if you get fortunate enough, you got to get rid of the football quicker.
Cundiff will try one from outside of 50. His longest on the year is 46. This to make it a 2-possession game, if you will. 51 yards. Hasn't made one from outside of 50 in 3 years. Cundiff's kick. Is it going to get there? No. Asamoah was back there with the possible return. There is still a chance that the Raiders can jump up here and ruin the Ravens' playoff hopes. There is the special teams unit. Totola, the snapper, they've had some snapping issues this year. Took the holder, Cundiff, who missed the kick. So it's at the 41 and a flag first. I think this was another one low and inside on the 51-yard try.
False start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty remains, 1st down.
Well, I would just say the operation is definitely not clean. Oh, yeah, boy, how about that? John Harbaugh immediately, bad snap.
Yep. 1st and 15 for Oakland. Ravens 0 for 2 on field goals today. A low throw for a 3-yard gain to Schillens. 3.5 to go. Oakland with 2 timeouts.
Schillens, you watch this Raider team. Boy, he's in there a lot. I mean, he's always, the ball's around him when he gets an opportunity, makes the catches, good route runner. Good compliment to the other 2 young receivers here.
Second, we'll call it at 11. Gonna get to the Baltimore 49. Russell's got the time to throw. And that was thrown to Miller, who was double covered by Foxworth and Carr.
Zach Miller, the intended receiver.
Well, I'd say this, when you play against Jamarcus Russell, never think that he can't throw it over your head if you're a defender. Because he throws it 50 yards like it's nothing. That was a good thought process, good play design. but the Ravens all over it. Heap going inside. I mean, Miller going inside, breaking back out. Most teams usually don't do that.
3rd and 11. They blitz. Raiders pick it up. Pass is short. And one hopper to Murphy.
Ray Lewis caused that incomplete pass that time.
They're going to punt it.
And that's the right decision. Here he comes from this side. Watch him come underneath and just overpowers Zach Miller. And what it does, watch Jamarcus Russell flinch. Oh, that's it. It makes him throw, all arm, his feet stop, and that makes the football come up short.
Oakland punts away. The audience just joining us here in Oakland. And fair catch by Carr at the 7. First down, and the Raiders defense closes that door quickly. That was McGahee, held to 1 yard by Scott and others. So the Raiders defense must make some plays here. Oakland with 2 timeouts.
You know, for the people just joining us too, Jim, is that the Raiders, they have been all over this today. They've had many opportunities to be closer or to be leading. But the Ravens, with a couple of big turnovers, taking advantage of it, big plays, that's why they're leading 21-13.
Now, if the scores hold up, with Kansas City winning at Denver in the 4th by 13, Baltimore winning here, the Ravens would be in, Pittsburgh would be out, Denver would be out, and it'd be either Houston or the Jets for that last spot. Jets would claim it with a victory tonight. If they lost, then that would go to Houston. That's as of the current scores. Baltimore last year all the way to the AFC title game out of the 6th spot. Trying to get in again. 2nd down and 9. And driving it ahead, churning out to the 14 for 4 yards, and a timeout called by Oakland.
Well, what do you do here? The Baltimore Ravens, you basically need 1 first down. You get a first down here, it almost wins the game for you. The Raiders are out of timeouts.
What will they do? Will they go up top? It's 3rd down and a long 4.
My first thought is that they will run it.
They're going to go out of the gun. It's McGahee, and he's got a wide open hole. And he is tackled at the 50 by Eugene. Only fitting that it's a day where he's been the difference maker. He goes for 36. Willis McGahee.
Oh, Stewart, what a block. Marshall Yonda pulls out. The Raiders not even playing run. And the Baltimore Ravens, if you watch this last quarter, they just got on the sideline. Somebody must have just said, we're going to win this game because we're going to do it up front and run the football. And how about that? Back inside their 10, 3 running plays. Put it on the O-line and your defense.
Kansas City's up 20 with about 6 minutes to go. And unless Denver storms back and makes an unbelievable comeback, then it'll come down to either the Jets tonight in with a win. If they lost, then Houston would make the postseason for the first time in franchise history.
Those 2 teams, we did their game week 1. This good win by the Baltimore Ravens here. And I thought the Raiders, well, they fought hard, showed a lot of good stuff about the football team. We say that, you know, it seems like we said this last year. There are components here to build a team that can be in the thick of the playoff race that gets late in the year for the Raiders. But the Ravens, just a gut check. Didn't throw the ball well today, but they sure ran it well. That was the difference here for them.
So one more snap, and Baltimore can make plans for Foxborough. Baltimore is in. So the Ravens have qualified, and Pittsburgh is officially eliminated. The Raiders are going to end up 5-11, another year with at least 11 losses.